Okay, welcome back. Part two. So we were talking about whether we have a circle or not. So you will need to know these conditions. Just think about at the end of a circle equation is your radius squared. So it should be common sense whether you have a circle or not. You need to have a positive radius. All right, so sometimes if you were to square this out and square that out and combine like terms and move things around, you can make the equation look like this. So this is called your general form versus our standard form. So this general form is not very convenient to graph a circle. We like the we like the standard form because we can just pull the center out and we know the radius is the square root of that number. So if you complete the square on a general form of an equation, you can change it into the standard form. This is sometimes called the vertex form because the vertex of your center is right there. So let's review how you complete the square. So I'm going to start with a random equation, x squared plus y squared plus 14x minus 8y plus 1 equals 0. Is the equation of a circle in general form. We want to complete the square to transform this into our standard form or vertex form. All right, so here's that same equation written again, so it's right there. So to complete the square, you are going to write your x squared term first. You're going to put both x's first and then put a plus sign and leave a blank. So these directions I'm showing you over here. Then you're going to write your y terms. So you have your plus y squared minus 8y. Then write plus and put a blank. Move that c term to the other side of the equal sign. Move that over. You know what I'm noticing? For these notes, it's actually the e. Move the e term, the number at the end, the constant term, move that to the other side of the equal sign. And when you move that positive 1 over, you know it becomes a negative 1. And since we added two numbers to get on the left side, to keep this an equation, we're going to have to add two numbers on the right side. All right, now completing the square is where you take this right here. You are taking this number 14 and you are dividing it by 2. That gives you 7. And then you are squaring that 7 and that gives you that 49. So you're going to fill that in on the right and left side. And then you do the same thing with this y term right here. You're going to take negative 8 divided by 2. You get negative 4, and then you are squaring it. Negative 4 squared is 16. It's this number, and whatever you add to one side of an equal sign, you add to the other. This now is a perfect square trinomial. It factors into x plus 7, that quantity twice. X plus 7 times x plus 7 gives you x squared plus 14x plus 49. It's always going to be this number here, half of whatever number you have right there is always the factor. All right, then you got your plus sign, and then this is a perfect square trinomial. So it factors into y minus 4 quantity squared. Negative 1 plus 49 plus 16 is 64. And right there, there's your equation of a circle. You can now pull out your center, and you now have your radius. Okay? So that is what we are going to practice on the next page. So moving on to page 7, the hardest one on this page is 4. So I'm going to do that one. So it says use completing the square, determine if each equation has a circle as its graph. If it does, then give the center and radius. And if it's not a circle, like if you get the radius is 0 or the radius is negative, then it's not a circle. You're just going to say not a circle. All right, so let's do problem 4. All right, these take a bit of room, so I'm going to split my workspace up in half. Okay, so I have this equation here. So I want to complete the square. So first thing, I'm going to move my constant term over. Now this one problem is a little bit different from the other ones because there is a leading coefficient. All right, so I'm just going to kind of take this slow. So first thing I'm actually going to do is I am just going to rewrite the equation but move my constant term to the other side. That's all I've done. All right, here's my x's. They're already grouped together. Do you notice there's a greatest common factor? So I'm going to be factoring that out. Now I'm going to have to put a plus. All right, and now I'm noticing here there is also a greatest common factor of 4. And 56 divided by 4 gives you 14. Now I'm going to add my blank. This is where I'm going to run out of room. So now I have negative 56, but I have to add a blank and add a blank. Sorry, I ran out of room. Okay, I'm going to complete the square. I'm going to show my work like over, I'll just do it underneath. Negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is positive 1. So I want to add a 1 here. Now remember, I factored out a 4. So if you distribute that back in, this is actually the number 4 I added to the left-hand side of the equal sign. So I actually have to add 4 to the right-hand side to keep this balanced. All right. Over here, I'm going to take half of the 14, and then I'm going to square that number. All right, so this becomes 49. But again, I factored out a 4. So this technically isn't 49. It's 4 times 49, which is 196. So if I added 196 to the left side of the equal sign, you have to add it to the right. Okay, I'm going to bring down my 4. This is now a perfect square trinomial. It factors into x minus 1 squared. It's always going to be whatever this was right here. It's half of that term. All right, then I have plus 4, and then this is a perfect square trinomial. It's y plus 7 squared. All right, and negative 56 plus 4 plus 196 is the value 144. Now it's starting to look more like a circle, but there shouldn't be these numbers out in front. So I'm going to divide this entire equation by 4, making them cancel out. So now I have x minus 1 squared plus the quantity y plus 7 squared equals, and 144 divided by 4 is 36. This is a circle because your radius is greater than 0, so I can pull out my center, and I know my radius is the square root of that number. All right, so practice the rest of these on this page. When you're done, if you have time remaining in class, make sure you have everything complete from pages 1 to 7 in your packet. You could use the rest of class time to work on the Green Weekly Review 1. You could do that and hand it in. You could also do some more circle practice problems right here. I have graph paper in the front bookcase in the front of the room for you to graph. All right, have a great day, and I hope you understand circles and their equations very well. Bye.